Sorry for that burp. If it came out. Hi, everyone. It's me, Sailor Moon. And it's me, Sailor Jupiter here. And today we're going to talk about, you know, does my show get any Onlook? Well, it's weird, but we're going to talk about, did my, what are we going to talk about today? Well, yes, why don't we do that? Alright. So, does my show get any Onlook? And when I'm talking about Onlook, I would say that it would be, does Dic Cloverway 1 get any Onlook? The answer would be yes and no, because it has to do with who you're talking to. Some drawing film followers and drawing shows, live drawings, folks out there hate the Dic Cloverway 1 because names were shifted and strikes were shifted and and kinships were shifted and all that stuff was shifted. And they give all the Onlook to the Viz one, which is sad. When you think of it, it is sad. I mean, all these folks, hate on one offshoot, but then like the other offshoot, and they never understood it. Now I get it. The Dic Cloverway offshoot, or Pioneer, whatever, Pathseeker offshoot of Sailor Moon wasn't for everyone. Not everyone was going to like it, and I understand that, and I get that. But if you go on YouTube or any other film, you will happen to see a lot of folks who hate it for those same grounds. A lot of folks who now hated the Dic Cloverway work were folks that was the only offshoot of Sailor Moon they knew. So they didn't have any other choices. It wasn't like now where they got the Viz one and that's the one they put all the Onlook on. And and wish that was what they got back in the day. But if it was not for the Dic one, then there would have been if there was no Dic one or Cloverway one, then there would have been no Viz one. Because you had to start somewhere. And these shifts that they bitch about so much is that they got to keep in mind that a lot of folks who don't really know Dawnlandish names, alright? There would have been a lot of folks that didn't know what their Dawnlandish names were. So they had to take borrowed names that folks speaking English would understand. And a lot of English folk understand the borrowed names that we were given in that show. Shifting kinship around, yeah. You know why Dic Cloverway had to shift unstraight kinships around, because there were folks out there, and in some way there are still folks out there who still think it's wrong, who still don't like that thing, but there are folks out there who think it was wrong and would have seek to take the show off the folk works because they didn't like it, because they would think that being unstraight was wrong. There were many folks out there that thought it was wrong, and for a kid's show at the time, they didn't want to get into that bind with the folk works or with bearers or keepers saying that their children saw a show where two folks were unstraight. So they had to do some shifting. Scave it if you will, but that was the mindset back in the day why it had to be done. And strike names being shifted, don't ask me why strike names and stead names were being shifted. But once again, I think it has to do with what folks would know and what they didn't know. You're right, Sailor Moon. I mean, at the end of the day, bitching about the Dic and the Cloverway offshoot of Sailor Moon is sad. I mean, a lot of these folks behave as if it was the worst show out there, but the truth is it's not, because we've watched it many times over the years on sundriest websites like YouTube or Vugon, or watch Sailor Moon online, or watch or SailorMoonTV.com, or the Live Drawing World, or whatever, you know, and there isn't, and at the end of the day, there's nothing wrong with it. All those things that they bitch about, and rant about isn't a big deal. The show is watchable. But these folks could not get past that. And they still can't get past it. They still bitch about names and steads and strikes and, being shifted and kinships being shifted and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, if they want to hate it, then they got every right to hate it. But I think it's sad that the Dic and Cloverway offshoot of Sailor Moon doesn't get any onlook, for many of them. I mean, yes, there are some out there who do like it, but there are a lot more of them that hate it. A lot more out there who, behave as if it was the worstest thing ever made and it was a sin against drawing films and live drawing shows and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, it wasn't like Sailor Moon wasn't like it was the first show that ever had that kind of shifting and cleaning done to it. Go back to any other live drawing show or drawing film that came from Dawnland. There were many shifts. Voltron had been shifted around many times. Alright? Speed Racer, Speedrunner, he was shifted around many times too. So Sailor Moon wasn't the only show that was handled in that way. Well, yeah, at the end of the day, you're right, Sailor Jupiter. I mean, you are right about that. At the end of the day, my drawing film or drawing show wasn't the first show to ever get, handled in that way. But they behave as if my show was the first one to ever be handled in that way. They forget to bring up those other shows you just talked about. At the end of the day, they like to, and at the end of the day, there are some folks out there who think if you like the Dic and Cloverway English offshoot of Sailor Moon, then you're not a true Sailor Moon follower, and they like to gatekeep on you. I mean, that was something that, happened way early on when we were first on YouTube. But at the end of the day, when I think of Sailor Moon, that's when I think of my show. It's the Dic and Cloverway offshoot I think first before I think the Viz one. And which, put a little thing here for you in this film. If it wasn't for folks either being followers of my show, if the Dic and Cloverway offshoot wasn't in a big need, then there would have been no need for the Viz if my show didn't get over in the Wanted Rights and the Settled Land and every other English speaking land that it was offshooted into. It is what it is. Alright, I'm going to end it now? Yes, Sailor Moon. So, if you like what you're watching, then follow us over here at Sailor Moon for Life. Watch the last film we made yesterday over here with Sailor Moon and Sailor Mars. Well, I'm Sailor Jupiter. That's Sailor Moon. And we'll see you later. Bye. Hey, I was gonna say that. You're taking away my sayings.